$6 to 8 million are waiting for someone to love them. Someone to give them a good home, care for them, and feed them. They have so much love and affection to give, they are just waiting for the day for someone to make them their own. According to the Humane Society of the United States, 6 to 8 million dogs and cats are turned into shelters every year. Sadly, 3 to 4 million of them are put to death every year. All of these dogs and cats will make a good pet for someone. A lot of times when someone is looking for a pet, they may look at a newspaper, go to a breeder, or even the pet store, and they overlook the animals at the shelter. But by overlooking the animals at the shelter, they may be passing over an animal that will be the best pet for their family. There's a lot of common misconceptions people may have about adopting an animal from a shelter. Perhaps the most common misconception someone may have about an animal at the shelter is that they are there because something is wrong with them, such as that they are aggressive, they don't get along with other animals, or they are bad with kids. But this is not the case. According to the Humane Society of the United States, the two most common reasons an animal might be at the shelter is because of landlord issues or because the person is moving. The two other most common issues are someone has allergies or that the person is moving. But imagine this. There's an elderly lady who had a dog for 7 years. She loved this dog and she did everything with it. She took it for rides in the car with her, and slept up on the bed with her every single night, sat by her side while she ate at the table, and went to visit her grandkids and on vacations. But one day, the elderly lady is unable to care for herself anymore, and she has to be admitted into a nursing home. So she has to take her dog to a shelter. This dog did nothing wrong, but it sits there day after day, waiting for someone to adopt it. Many people who turn their animals into shelters are turning in their beloved pet, and there is unfortunate circumstances that landed the pet there. I can speak from experience when I say this, because I adopted 2 adult cats from the Batavia Animal Shelter. They are the most loving cats I have ever had. They follow me around the house, they come when I call them, and they sleep up on the bed with me. The shelter is full of pets just like this. Another common misconception people may have about dogs and cats at the shelters is that they do not know what they are getting in a pet. In other words, they don't know about the past behaviors such as aggression, if it has health problems, or if it got along with other pets or children. But all the animals at the shelters are screened by the volunteers there. They interact with the pets on a regular basis. They take the dogs for a walk every day, they take the cats out and play with them and hold them. So if you talk to the volunteers there, they will have a very good idea on what the behavior history is on the pet. Also, since I mentioned before, most animals are from previous owners. The owners can give the background on the pet and tell what kind of a family it's coming from. Another factor that may keep people away from animals at the shelters is that they don't know what kind of health the pet is in. But every pet, before it is allowed to be adopted, has every and all health conditions taken care of before it is out of the shelter. They are all spayed and neutered, they have a complete vet check, and have all their shots up to date. Also, most of the times they are dewormed and have flea and tick medication. This can save a huge amount of money for the adoptee. Spaying and neutering alone can cost from $150 to $300. When you add all the rest of the vet fees on top of that, it can be at least another $100. Most people may think that adopting an animal from a shelter might cost a lot of money, but in fact, it only costs about $30 at most shelters. Considering if you bought an animal from a breeder or a pet store or a newspaper, it would probably cost you much more than this, plus all the vet fees. So not only will the animal be in good health, but it will save a lot of money as well. Some people may already have the perfect pet in their mind, such as they want a certain breed or they want a puppy or a kitten, but they think that the animal shelter is only with old animals or that they're all just mixed breeds. But this isn't the case. The ASPCA, which stands for the American Society of Prevention to Cruelty to Animals, says that 25% of the animals in the shelters are purebreds. The shelters have a wide variety of breeds, big and little, long and short-haired, mixed breed and purebred, older trained animals, as well as puppies and kittens. No matter what someone is looking for in a pet, chances are the shelter has a match. Animals adopted from the shelter can make amazing pets. They usually have been someone's pet previously and have so much love to give. just like my two sweet cats who are waiting for me at the shelter. So the next time you're thinking about getting a dog or a cat, why not take a look at your local animal shelter? See all the wonderful dogs and cats that are there, and who knows, you just might fall in love with one and find the perfect addition to your family.